For months, political circles in South Africa have been buzzing with speculation over the rejection of President Cyril Ramaphosa's proposed national dialogue. Framed as a unifying platform to address the country's pressing challenges ranging from unemployment and crime to corruption and economic stagnation, the initiative was met with stiff resistance from several key stakeholders, including former President Thabo Mbeki. Until now, Mbeki had remained notably silent, allowing rumors to flourish. But in a recent public engagement, the elder statesman broke his silence, carefully outlining why he and many others felt the initiative was deeply flawed. According to Mbeki, the rejection was not born out of personal animosity toward Ramaphosa, nor a resistance to dialogue itself. Rather, he argued, it was about the content, sincerity, and execution of the proposal. South Africans must not be misled to think we are against dialogue, Mbeki stressed. We have always believed in dialogue as a cornerstone of democracy. But dialogue must not be a smokescreen. It must be credible, inclusive, and grounded in real solutions, not public relations. One of his first criticisms was that Ramaphosa's national dialogue appeared hurried and ill-prepared. Mbeki noted that the country's issues are complex, requiring careful groundwork and genuine buy-in from all sectors of society. Instead, he argued, the proposal seemed rushed, almost as if it were designed more to placate public anger than to truly confront South Africa's crises. When you call a nation to dialogue, you must prepare the ground. You cannot simply wake up and announce such a gathering without thorough consultations, Mbeki explained. Another point of contention was credibility. Mbeki stated bluntly that many South Africans had lost faith in Ramaphosa's leadership, particularly in his ability to tackle corruption within the ANC itself. Hosting a national dialogue under such conditions, Mbeki suggested, would lack legitimacy. You cannot invite the people to sit around the table when they do not trust the host, he remarked, drawing a subtle but sharp line of critique toward Ramaphosa. He emphasized that dialogue is not about speeches or photo opportunities, but about trust and accountability. Mbeki also highlighted the exclusionary nature of the proposal. While Ramaphosa claimed that all voices would be welcome, Mbeki pointed out that key civic organizations, opposition parties, and even some grassroots movements were either ignored or inadequately consulted. A dialogue that excludes meaningful representation is not a national dialogue, it becomes an ANC event, Mbeki said, underscoring his belief that the process risked being politicized rather than national. The former president further warned against using dialogue as a delay tactic. In his view, the government already possesses enough policy frameworks, commissions, and recommendations to address South Africa's core problems. What is missing is not more talk. What is missing is decisive action, Mbeki insisted. He referenced previous commissions of inquiry, economic blueprints, and social compacts that were launched with great fanfare, only to gather dust without implementation. For him, convening another round of national talks without a clear plan of execution risked repeating the same cycle of inaction. Interestingly, Mbeki also linked his rejection to the broader crisis of leadership within the ANC. He cautioned that unless the ruling party demonstrates discipline, integrity, and unity, no dialogue, however noble, will succeed. We must put our own house in order first, Mbeki said. The ANC cannot call the nation to a dialogue about corruption, yet fail to address corruption within its own ranks. His remarks echoed frustrations voiced by civil society and opposition groups, who argue that the ANC's credibility crisis has eroded public trust in its initiatives. Despite his sharp criticism, Mbeki was careful not to dismiss the principle of dialogue itself. He acknowledged that the country desperately needs consensus building to overcome its social and economic hurdles. However, he argued that the process must be restructured, led by credible, neutral facilitators, genuinely inclusive of all societal sectors, and anchored in a binding framework that ensures outcomes are implemented. South Africa does not need another conference. South Africa needs honest leadership, accountability, and the courage to implement what we already know must be done, he said. His words carry weight, not only because of his stature as a former president but also because of his reputation as a thinker who emphasizes strategy and foresight. For many, Mbeki's intervention reframed the debate. Was Ramaphosa's national dialogue truly about solving problems, or was it a political maneuver to buy time and appease critics? Public reaction to Mbeki's remarks has been divided. Supporters hailed him for speaking truth to power, arguing that his critique reflects what many ordinary South Africans feel, that endless talk without action is no longer acceptable. Critics, however, accused him of undermining a president who is already battling immense challenges, suggesting that Mbeki's stance reflects lingering tensions within the ANC's old guard. Still, one thing is clear: Mbeki's response has shifted the conversation. Instead of asking why the national dialogue was rejected, the public is now asking a deeper question: what kind of leadership and what kind of dialogue does South Africa truly need?